Okay. Okay, hi. Hold on, can you guys hear me? Hello, testing, one, two, three. Okay. Alright, cool. Everyone back to work. Silence! Thank you. Huh? I didn't hear him. What did he say? Okay. Okay, anyway. Let's get back to it. Okay, where did I leave off? So I have the mesh move. I'm gonna create the chin area. Yeah, so let's just start it like this and then cut it up to see what happens. So I'm gonna bridge these. So I'm gonna bridge. I want to make a cut in here. So I'm gonna select the left edge and the middle bit and connect. And then this connect can move up a bit. Okay. I'm gonna bring this out here. And I'm also going to right click target weld. I'm going to target weld these 2 points. Whoops. Let's move this chin bit down. Harry! Yes, focus. Thank you. Okay, so sorry, yeah. Ooh. I am gonna then make this connection here. Bridge, and then I am going to cut from here onwards. And then I'm gonna cut here. Okay, and then by doing that, I can bridge here, and then bridge that, and we'll sort it. We'll sort out the connections later because we're getting a bit of wonky shape here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if I put on the mesh move, you can see what's going on. I'm gonna make Timmy's mouth a lot smaller, but we've got the chin there. It is looking alien-like, but it's because the ears are not there. Just put your headphones on so it can at least block half of the noise. Alt Q. Okay, so the Timmy's eyes is looking a bit sad here. So I'm gonna try and pep it up by moving some of the vertices around. F4 to bring up edge faces. So, and then to switch between see-through mode is Alt and X. So I'm gonna bring this up here. Switch into see-through, Alt and X. Bring it up and out. Do you know what I want to do? I want to divert away from the drawing a tiny bit and give the bottom eye a bit of a lip. And the way I will do this is by cutting. Can't see. Let me move this here. Sorry, editable poly. I'm gonna be cutting from here like so. Yeah, I'm making a triangle there. I'll fix it later. Um, then we go to editable poly. Isolation, no, not isolation. Show end result. Yeah, I can then bring this up. Let me take the eye, turn the eye from see-through to solid. Okay, so we've got that selected already. This can come out a bit because we all have like bag areas under our eyes, so there's always going to be like a bump. Okay, so let me select the top, bring that in, select that side, whoops, and then bring it out a tiny bit. Is that a point here? So that's a point here, so we can start to get some shape on the bags. We can tuck it in, and this will just give the eye a bit more of a bit more shape because it's tucked around the sphere. Okay, the head is looking a bit wide to me. It's like I would want to like rotate all of this side in. Or we can pull the nose out. So I'm gonna pull the nose out actually. So let me select this area. Make sure I haven't selected anything at the back using Alt to deselect. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna select the whole socket area actually, and then deselect the back just in case. And you know you've deselected the back once the axis pops into the area that you've selected. I'm gonna right click rotate and rotate in the y axis, I think it is. I'm not gonna rotate too much, just a tad bit. Yeah, yeah. I'm liking that. Okay, then I'm gonna move the eyes over and then readjust readjust the rest so it flows a bit better. Okay, so the head we can start to flatten in a bit and pull out because we're going to start working on the air section. So you see I'm just pulling these in. Oh yeah, I said I wanted to make the mouth smaller. Let's do that now. Quickly, I'm just going to select those two, minus like the head, back. Let's bring that in and out. A bit more, or a lot more. And let's start to shape this bit a bit better because it's getting messy. Okay, I'll repeat again, do not be precious with your selections. You can just marquee select a bunch of areas and move them in wafts. We're working in very low poly, so it can be adjusted and fixed very easily. Where am I selecting? I'm selecting this one. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I need to select the corners now. Push the corner out. Okay, and we already, yeah, we need to stick some cheeks in there. What's this? And then we'll work on the topology of this area after we've got the ears in, and it starts to form a bit more like a human lad, a human boy. Okay, so for the ear, so I've made the mouth smaller. Whoops, not liking the shape fully. Um, and we'll make the inside to the mouth as well at some point. Anyway, okay, so I have the ear, so I'm gonna pick this a bit for the ears, this segment here. So if I press F, so yeah, it's just about right. Maybe these two, and go to the front. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, you can make the ear separately. Um, there are tutorials, or there are things that you can find online to make like the perfect ear with the lowest amount of polys, and then you can just basically attach it, put it in the same place and attach it. What I'm gonna do here is gonna look a bit funky at first. I'm gonna extrude, so I'm gonna extrude out. Let me take off the mesh. Sorry, mesh move. I'm gonna extrude out, and then I am going to target weld. Target weld. Right click, target weld. These bits here. Okay, I actually want his ears to be a lot smaller, to be honest. So let's select. I'm gonna bring the up plank here, maybe. Let's go left. Yeah, and then select these two. Let me just do it in perspective. So right click to perspective, and maybe I want it forward a tiny bit more. So the top of the ear should always really reach the eye. Not that it matters in drawing, but in 3D it does. It can look weird. So I'm gonna move this whole thing up a tad bit, like around here. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna rotate it. My selection, move out. Okay. Now I'm gonna cut this and make it a quad. So as long as I cut down here, so I've made it four-sided now here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude again. So actually, sorry, I'm going to take this in, like so, just move it in slightly, and then I'm going to move this out. Oops. Move it out. Let's move that back. Come on, why are you being difficult? Okay, there we go. These can be moved down to some extent. And it is looking wider. Maybe I want to take this in as well, so let me take it in. So I'm going to move this in the y-axis. A bit more, so like that. And then move it back out a bit in the y-axis. Okay. Whoops. And then what I want to do is I want to extrude this bit again. And then I'm gonna extrude these sides. So let me do extrude settings. Change to local. It's not gonna be that big, just press OK. These two sides I'm gonna take down a bit. This I'm gonna take in. Okay, so I'm taking these in. It's very, very messy. Okay, so this bit is gonna be the earlobe top bit. Let's make this smaller. All of these should be smaller. Otherwise, he's gonna have like a Garrica Lineker ears or something. Okay, pull them in like this. The lobe bit, there's usually always a lobe. Um, let's see what this is looking like and with the mesh move on. Okay, it's looking a bit funky. Okay, this bit I'm gonna extrude in a bit. So I want to select all of this, sorry, and then bring it down a bit, maybe. And I think I want another cut across the ear so I can, yeah, just have a bit more detail there. Or maybe the ears should stick out a tiny bit. So I'm just selecting all of this, and then I'm gonna rotate it in the X axis in. I just that was about 10 degrees, and then I've moved it in slightly. Okay, so let's see what it looks like from the front. So we've got the ears coming out. Actually, the rotation was too much. Let me move it back 5 more. Okay. SP. Okay. Let's click off. See what it's looking like. Ooh, those are horrible ears. Okay. Let's take off the mesh smooth and back, and let's try and sort this out. So if I click on the swift loop, you can see that my ears are have looped across itself, which is a good thing, I believe. That means it's enclosed. Well, that's what we want to try to do, is get all lines to loop. It's not the end of the world if they don't, but yeah. Let's bring that here. I've moved 1 or 2 lines too much. Okay, and this is the top bit, the cartilage area. I'm gonna just pick up and move out. Gonna shift these so they're not as sharp. Now I can select this side without worrying about the other side because it's symmetried, so that's fine. Something like that, just round it out a bit more. And I might want to cut the top of the eye as well and the sides to give more detail or more control. And the chin is also, yes, we need to get back onto the chin because I can see there are some jaggies or jagged edges here. So, and we can sort this out by just moving the polygons around. So why don't I just do that, and I'll do that whilst in can I go to quality? No. Yes, I'll do that whilst in the mesh move mode. And the objective here is I want to try and get my edges to, let me turn off the light, default, no shadows. Okay. Yeah, we want to get them as smooth as possible. We don't want hard cuts, hard jags. Yeah, so they should look like they're flowing almost. And once you achieve that, there shouldn't really be much of an issue. When we get into modeling more complicated shapes, what you'll realize in topology is you want rings to form around the eye, around the nose and the mouth, and then a big ring to form around the head, encapsulating everything. But we'll get onto that another time. So they don't look too bad. Okay, so let me duplicate this. So okay, so I have my eye here in front view, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to affect the pivot. Sorry, so I'm going to come into hierarchy, affect the pivot, and then I'm going to put the pivot to 0 on the x-axis in perspective mode. Then what I'm going to do is go to, with the eye selected, I'm going to go to mirror and then copy. It's in the x-axis, so it's made a copy, and that should be fine. Maybe I want the eyes should be closer, looking at the thing, or smaller. I'll make the eyes smaller, so tuck it in. Okay, so the eye automatically moved into the correct place because the axis was on the 0 and I just placed the mirror on. Okay, so what I want to do is, let me turn off, go standard. What I want to do here is make the eye a lot smaller. So we're gonna have to work something here. Whoops. So I'm just gonna tweak and pull all these lines around until it works, basically, until I have something, and try whilst trying to keep these edges from like breaking out and making a mess. His head, the top of his head, is not going to matter too much as he has hair. And that will take up most of, if not all, the bad topology that we're creating along the way. What we should also do is make a brow, and we can do this by cutting across and creating more polygons here. But we have nearly reached 1 o'clock, so let me quickly do that. Come off of mesh move. So I'm gonna go into swift loop again and do it around the eye. So we've created another loop on the eye, and this will give us more information as well on the, while we're viewing, we're controlling what the eye looks like. I want to start, so we've created this line here, so we can start pulling this area out to make a brow. So we can pull that down a bit, and usually with the nose bridge you want them tucked in, not too much though, and then the brow to come out and aim itself just around the head. And let's see what the swift loop is doing on our forehead. So it's there, but it's a bit janky. So let me swift loop that and then try and reform this to be a lot smoother. We can start to rotate and look around. Pull up. Okay, so I'm just trying to get these lines not super straight, but just straight enough that they can flow on the mesh smooth. Okay, let's bring that down. This should maybe be down a bit more, and then we can use that space here. I would want to shrink in the head. This is looking like some Frankenstein now. I'm going to shrink in the head or rotate these bits here. The cheeks maybe should also come out. Here. Let's make the eyes white so they don't look too alienish. Yes, looking at this now, I'd want to move the eyes in a lot. So, but we will do that another time. It's looking like one of those porcelain dolls, a bit scary and stuff. Everything needs moving out. I would put the mouth down a lot more um, and tuck in the ear. But besides from that, we will call this a day. Okay.